Previously, you've learned about associations between domain classes. In UML, an association is one of the many types of relationships, so you need to be more precise when discussing UML diagrams than when discussing ERDs. So with class diagram, there are actually three types of relationships among classes. Relay of objects. So you have association, relationships. So this is what we've discussed previously. And then we have generalization or specialization, relationships, and then there's whole part relationships. So in this lesson, we will discuss generalization or specialization relationships and the whole part relationships and shows how they are represented in UML diagrams. So generalization or specialization relationships are based on the idea that people classify things in terms of similarities. So again, these are based on the idea that people classify things in terms of similarities and differences. So generalizations are judgments that group similar types of things. For example, there are several types of motor vehicle. So there are cars, trucks, bus, plane, boat. So all motor vehicles share certain general characteristics. So a motor vehicle is a more general class. On the other hand, specialization are judgments that group people or that group um, different types of things, not people. So let me write that. So generalization, it groups similar types. In specialization, it groups different types. So for example, special types of cars include sports car, sedans, and sport utility vehicles. So these types of cars are similar in some ways, yet different in many ways. So a generalization specialization relationship is used to construct or rank these things from the more general to the more special. As discussed previously, classification refers to defining classes of things. So each class of things in the hierarchy might have a more general class above it called a superclass. Okay, so let me define generalization specialization relationship. So it is a hierarchical relationship where subordinate classes are special types of the superior types, often called an inheritance hierarchy. So again, each class in the hierarchy might have a general class above it, so we call that a superclass. So in definition, superclass is the superior or more general class in a generalization specialization hierarchy. At the same time, a class might have a more specialized class below it called the subclass. So in definition, it is the subordinate or more specialized class in a generalization specialization relationship. So for example, in this figure, the class car. So this class right here, the car class has three subclasses and one superclass, so which is the motor vehicle class. So in UML diagram notation, it uses a triangle that points to the superclass to show generalization and specialization hierarchy. So here the car has three subclasses: the sports car class, sedan class, and sports utility class. So the superclass motor vehicle has three subclasses: the truck, car, and tractor. So these are all types of motor vehicle, but these classes here are only a subclass of a car because these are not a truck, these are also not a tractor, but these are all special types of car. So we mentioned that people structure their understanding by using generalizations, specialization relationships. So in other words, people learn by refining the classifications they make about some fields of knowledge. So another term called inheritance. So it is the concept that subclasses classes inherit characteristics of the more general superclass. So inheritance allows subclasses to share characteristics of the superclass. So in our example here, so a car is everything that any other motor vehicle is, but also something special. So let's say in motor vehicle class, it has attributes such as a motor vehicle has a steering wheel, a brake, and, and so on. And all these attributes of the motor vehicle are inherited by these three subclasses. All trucks have steering wheel and brake. All cars have steering wheel and brake, and the same with tractors. But with cars, there are just special attributes of cars that only these subclasses will inherit that are not in a truck and tractor. But all these subclasses here are these samples: the sports cars, sedans, utility, sport utility, will inherit the general attributes or the attributes of the superclass motor vehicle because these cars these cars here has also steering wheel and brake, which is also with other types of motor vehicle. But perhaps there are special attributes in cars that are only inherited by these classes. So in this way, the subclass inherits the characteristics of the superclass. In the object-oriented approach, inheritance is a key concept that is possible because of generalization, specialization, hierarchies. Sometimes these are referred to as inheritance relationships. Another term often used to describe generalization specialization is the relationship. ISA. So in other words, it makes sense to say a sedan is a special type of car, and a car is a special type of motor vehicle.